So, how do most of the kids around the country revise for GCSE maths at the moment? At the moment, most of them go online, might go somewhere like YouTube, find videos, and figure out whether what you're watching is correct for you, if it's related to GCSEs, if it's got everything you need. You might look for online question papers and worksheets, which you can do once, but then once you've done them, you can't really do them again because you remember the answers. You have limited exam papers because, again, after you've done a few years, they run out. And on top of everything else, you don't really get much feedback. So we're looking to take all of this into account and have one place that you can go to for everything that you need for revising for GCSE maths. So what is QRiO? QRiO is the world's most modern Maths GCSE platform. We looked at all of the problems, which we mentioned before, and we decided to solve it and see what's the most efficient, most fun way for students to learn maths. So no matter whether you're in year 7 and just getting started with your maths journey, or you're in year 11 and about to take your GCSE maths exam, we have everything you need all in one place for you to get the grade that you want. We have unlimited questions, video lessons, exams, personalised feedback, and all of this put together should give you everything you possibly need in order to revise for GCSE maths. So once you've got the platform, you can go up here in the top right. If you click here, it will take you to the main page of QRiO. So here's what the dashboard looks like when you start using the platform. So here you have your grades and videos, your exams, and your analysis. So all these are what build up the main building blocks of QRiO. So let's see how it happens when you go into your grades. Here you can see it's split by foundation and higher grades. And within each grade, you can see all the different topics you need to revise in order to understand that grade entirely. So let's use it how a normal student might use this for their revision. So for this example, let's take a look at grade 7. And the first thing you'll probably want to do is watch a video to learn how the topic works. So if you click in here, you can basically open up the video for the search topic. Now, each of our videos are made very carefully. We try to make them as short as possible and as to the point as possible. They should pretty much replace whatever your teacher is teaching at school, or they should help you understand things that you might have missed. And the idea is that if you watch this video, you have all the different tools you need in order to solve any exam question within this topic. So once you're done with this, you might want to answer some questions on the topic. So this is how you would do that. You go here, hit questions, and now you're at the questions for the topic. Now, these questions will be different for each chapter, and they start off from being very easy to getting gradually harder, and they're very representative of questions you'll see in the exams for the topic. So if you're going to answer these questions here, that means you can answer the different questions in your exams as well. So let's take a look at an example of how you would use this. So let's try to attempt the first question over here. So let's put in the right answer. When you hit submit, it will show you a solution which is specific to the question you just did, and it will come up as green. And if you get the wrong answer, it will come up as red, and it will still give you the solution as to how you would have got the correct answer. So what you do is you go through all these different questions here. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And once you're done, you can hit refresh and get a completely new set of questions to revise again. And these questions are different to the first set you did, and every time you refresh it, they'll be completely different. So over here, you can also do a question, and you can also bookmark it if there's a particular question you want to come back to. And also we have a few other features. Let's say you're revising at night and you need to work in the dark, you can put a dark mode on, or if you want to change the size of the text, you can do that over here. So this is basically how you work with our platform in the questions. So let's just show you a few other examples of other question chapters. So from the search bar here, you can also go directly to the questions. So this is what the bar chart looks like. So we also have graphics and all of this. We have other topics such as pie charts as well. So everything you see here is pretty much how you would expect to see in the exam, even if there are different types of questions which might have shapes, graphs, pictures, words. We have all of them. So here's just another example using trigonometry. And this should give you a good idea of the different types of questions that we have in the chapter. So all in all, pretty much everything you need for your GCSEs. We have the videos for them, we have the questions for them, and all put together, it should put you in a really good spot for you to revise for your exams. So once you're done doing all the questions, you probably want to know how you did. So if you go here on the left and click on grade analysis, it will bring up this dashboard here, which will show you all the questions you've done and how you've been doing so far. So in order for you to open up a chapter, just hit the grade that it's from, hit the chapter that you're looking for in that grade, and then you'll be able to see the screen for it. So here you can see a lot of things like your average score, the sessions you've had, the questions you've attempted, how you're doing in each session. So this graph here, hopefully the score will go up every time you do a session, and most importantly, your strengths and weaknesses. So this way you know exactly which areas in that chapter you need to improve and which parts of the chapter you're really good at. So this will give you a general overview of how you're doing. Now, apart from that, this is also the place for you to access your bookmarks. So if I go here in the bottom left, you can click the bookmarks and get all the bookmarks for all the questions you've decided to mark, along with all the solutions and the right answers for them, so you can review it and come back to it whenever you need. Next up, once you've done all the questions and understood how you're doing and where to improve, you might want to test yourself by making a custom exam. So this is a screen where you can do it. You can either set the grade or the level, and this will determine all the different settings for how your exam is configured. So an example might be, you might choose a grade here, or you might choose your level here, foundation or higher. So once you've selected these, we can make a quick selection. So in this one, let's choose higher, and let's configure the exam. So once you start the exam over here, it will fetch you a set of questions to sit in your exam. So I recommend you do it in 90 minutes or whatever the time limit is, and do it in one sitting. So here you have a timer which tells you how long you have left. You can come and go as many times as you want, but the timer once it's started will not stop. And here, unlike the questions, once you put your answer, you can only save it. You won't see a solution because it's the exam. And if I just flick through some of the questions here, you just get an idea of the kinds of questions to expect in your exam. So this exam will give you a flavor of the real exam is like, and is made in such a way that it kind of reflects any mock tests that you have or real exams you have. Again, you can make the text bigger, and once you're done, you can simply submit the exam, and that's all there is to it. So once you're done doing your exam, you can go to exam analysis tab here on the left, and this will basically show you how you've done across all your different exams across the different grades. And by opening the grade, you can see how you did each of your exams, as well as some stats on your highest scores, how many exams you attempted, as well as a report for each exam, so you can go back to an exam and review it. So let's take a look at some of the higher grades, and let's take a look at a random exam. So this is the feedback you can expect in the exam. The red and the green tell you how many questions you got wrong and right, and the height of each bar basically just tells you how long you spent on each. This will give you a generic idea of how many got wrong, how many got right, what you're good at in the strengths, and where you need to improve here in the weaknesses. You can also review the exam, go back and see the answer you gave, as well as what the actual solutions should have been to those questions. So if you got something wrong, you should be able to understand why you got it wrong by looking at the solutions over here. So all in all, this will give you an overall idea of how you did in the exams. So hopefully this video explained you a little bit more about how QRiO works. So why should you get QRiO? Well, all in all, at the end of the day, the idea is that QRiO makes learning maths much easier than it already is. If you watch the videos, do the questions, do the exams, and use the feedback, it's probably the easiest way for you to get whatever grade that you're looking for in Maths GCSE, and there isn't really an easier alternative to it. It's also much cheaper than tutoring. You can do it as many times as you want in the month, and you can use it as often as you want. So hopefully this helps you on your maths journey, and good luck with everything.